There's also the comments which the Indian foreign minister made in the UN Security Council, where he says you cannot cherry pick when it comes to territorial integrity. Terrorism cannot become a weapon of a political agenda. Some way sending out signals that India will not tolerate Western hypocrisy, double standards, that the Canadians have for much too long been far too soft on those who advocate Khalistani separatism and possibly violence. Do you believe those comments will hit home?
I believe they already have had resonance. Look, the problem in Canada was not simply the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar and who may or may not have been behind it. This has been a problem ongoing for years. Under Justin Trudeau, and frankly, under Justin Trudeau's father, it's been addressed with utmost cynicism inside Canada. Now, if we put Canada aside, the attacks on the San Francisco consulate in the United States have also been a wake-up call on this. The fact of the matter is the Khalistani extremists are abusing the magnanimity of the Western system, and that has got to stop. At the same time, if there's any silver lining to this issue, it's the fact that no longer in Washington, no longer in Ottawa, are people going to ignore the Khalistani issue.
You know, that's what I wanted to understand. Are you saying even in Washington now there will be a tougher stand on those who are seen in the name of Khalistan to carry out protests of the kind that turned violent in San Francisco? Am I correct?
Traditionally, there has been a double standard. We haven't taken it seriously. We haven't understood that what the militants and extremists are saying here has absolutely no resonance in Punjab or India more broadly. This is something which is people are rapidly getting an education on. I would say the difference is the United States is willing to learn. Justin Trudeau is simply trying to save his neck.
So the big picture at the end of the day, you believe the events of the last 10 days have been a wake-up call for the Western world, particularly for Canada, to some extent for the United States, and you believe that Justin Trudeau has no option in a way but to pull back. He cannot be seen to be saber-rattling on sensitive intelligence issues. What if he turns around and says that we have hard information tomorrow and puts that out in the public domain? Will that change opinion if there is hard evidence put out of a so-called Indian hand?
Well, first of all, it's time for Justin Trudeau to put up or shut up. If he had the evidence, it should be presented. And if there is a hidden hand behind this murder, it also raises the question about who Hardeep Singh Nijjar was and why Canada was protecting him. You know, the people who are looking at Hardeep's background have already come forward with a lot of information. Pictures of Hardeep Singh Nijjar with AK-47s, which are illegal in Canada. Is this man really a plumber? What did Canada know, and why were they giving him exceptions to Canadian law at every single opportunity? I see an intelligence failure on part in parallel with what we saw before 9/11, where the FBI in the United States was ignoring Saudis coming, learning at flight schools how to take off, but having no interest in landing. After the fact, we're seeing a lot of dots that should have been put together by the intelligence services. That's what Canada should be focusing on, how they let this man into the system and why for so long they turned a blind eye to his terrorism.
Mr. Rubin, you've given us a very tough response, and you've in a sense put across what you believe is a growing anger over double standards even within a section of the Washington establishment when it comes to dealing with terror.